Now, it is a branched polysaccharide. A branched polysaccharide of around mga 10 to 6 glucose units. So, pila na siya? 10, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ay 6, 1, 2, 3. So, around mga 1,000 glucose units. 1 million. No? 10 to 6. 10 to 6 glucose units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mga 1 million glucose units. That's how large glycogen is. No? Imagine mo, glucose 1 up to million. Glucose units joined together by glycosidic bond. No? Now, the total amount of glycogen in the body of a well-nourished adult human is about 350 grams. So, and usually distributed to the liver and the muscle cells. Now, how is this glycogen formed? Now, say for example, in the morning, you have eaten rice with chooks to go, whole chooks to go, and then it's coupled with your sweet, say, ice cream, cake, chocolate, moist cake, dayon, napay Sprite or Coca-Cola, napay mga leche flan, okay. Now, so how many calories you have taken in the morning? So you have some food. So you have eaten mountainous rice together with those sweets you have taken in. Now, in say around 9 to 10, of course during that time your blood sugar will be decreased. Now, those food you have taken in, when they reach to the small intestine, they are absorbed already. Now, some of them will be, of course, used up by the cells. But those which are not used up by the cells, so they will be distributed to the liver and to the muscle cells for glycogen formation. At around 9 to 10, at that time, the sugar in the blood is decreased. And that is, so, that signal to the hypothalamus. Oh, hypothalamus, I'm so hungry. Because the brain cells take the lion's share in terms of energy requirement. So, almost 3/4 of our energy intake would be brought to the brain cells. So, at around 9 to 10, blood sugar is decreased because they are all taken, many are taken up by the brain cells. So, the decreased sugar is a signal to the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus will send signal to the pituitary gland, then to the pituitary gland to the different bodies, say for example to the liver and to the muscle cells. Oy, liver, please release your glycogen. They are needed right now. So the liver, the muscles will release its glycogen, and of course that will be used for energy source. So boosted up again our, up between 9 to 10, our blood sugar will be boosted up. That is when glycogen is being used up. That is what happened when you not take in your snacks. But if you have taken in your snacks in between 9 to 10, in between meals, breakfast to lunch, now the output or say the energy that you have taken in the snacks, that will be used up as energy, so the glycogen stays in the in the liver and in the muscles as glycogen. Then in the noon, that's why, in the noon, you have eaten again your lunch, heavy again, because there are some which are left. So you eat abundantly, voraciously, and of course, you have added again another carbohydrates. Now some are used Now, the glycogen in the morning were not used up. They stay in the liver and the muscles. And, of course, during lunchtime, the brain cells take the lion's share again for energy, and some were distributed, added up to the liver and to the muscles for your glycogen in the morning. So it's added up there. Now, snacks time again in the afternoon. Okay, you have eaten leche flan again, or a milk tea. Oh, so pila ka aspartame. You have taken in. How many calories were added? So, the glycogen you have accumulated from the morning and in the lunch would still be glycogen in the afternoon. And in the evening, you ate again. Now, they are supposed to be used up in between meals. Breakfast, between breakfast to lunch, or lunch to supper, or supper to breakfast again. They are supposed to be used up. However, because you have between meals, they were not used up. The following day, they will be converted into fat. So that makes up our bill. They are accumulated in our muscles. So it becomes fatty liver. Because they have accumulated a lot. That's why class Ellen White said, avoid eating between meals. Is it scientific? Yes. It is scientific. You know what Ellen White is? Ellen G. White is only elementary, grade 3. So, she has not graduated, and yet her teachings are scientific. No eating between meals. Why? That is to make use of that glycogen so that they will not be converted into fat. And that's an added baggage to your body. You see? So we could say that Ellen White's teachings is actually inspired by the Holy Spirit. Why? Because with that level, grade level, she should supposedly not understand the scientific laws. But with her teaching, there is scientific there. So we could say that she's being inspired by the Holy Spirit. Okay? So glycogen. Then another, we have cellulose. It's another polysaccharide. It's a linear polysaccharide. Linear, like this. Like amylose, linear na siya, the cellulose. Where to find cellulose? It's in the cell walls. No? In the cell walls of the plant cells. The fibers in the leaves, say kamuti tops, malunggay. No? Now, you may be wondering why when you ate malunggay, it goes out also almost malunggay. Why? Because it contains a lot of fibers, and that fibers consists of cellulose, which cannot be digested by us. Why? Why they cannot be digested? Actually, they look like amylose. Only, they just differ in the alpha and the beta. The location of the OH. Now, ang cellulose, it's beta. Amylose is alpha. Are you with me? Yes. And with that, because it's beta, that could not be digested by our glycosidases or glucosidases. Our enzymes that will digest our glucose, glucosidases, I should say. Okay? Because it's beta. Now, for some animals like termites, they have that special enzyme beta-glucosidases, specifically cellulases. Cellulases, which will digest cellulose and will make use of that as energy source. So that's why they can eat up our furnitures, wooden furnitures, our dresses, our papers, our books, So termites can make use of that as energy source because they have that beta glucosidases, cellulases, of which that enzyme is not present in us. Now, what if God please us that enzyme? Say when you have children and you don't have work, and your children will ask, your babies will ask, Papa, give me some food, I'm hungry. And then you don't have work, you have no money, then you may say, okay, you just get the armchair of our furniture. Or maybe you just get the Bible na itong kuha na. Anay na. Kaya wala may pulos, kaya dili naman ninyong basahon. Taking heed of those important book, the life book. So siguro pang-feed na lang ninyo sa inyong children in the future. So you tend to be indolent. You tend to be lazy. That's why God did not place us that kind of gene. Gene that would express the enzyme that would digest cellulose. That's why when you eat cellulose, it's still cellulose. Now some, like horses, mga ruminants, they have. For the termites, they are not producing these cellulases, but it's the bacteria that dwell with them. So they form a symbiotic relationship. The bacteria will produce the cellulase, and the termites will scavenge your armchairs, your wooden furnitures, your papers, your books, your dresses. Okay? Okay, so making use of them as energy source. Cellulose act like stiff rods and align themselves side by side into well-organized water-insoluble fibers. So fibers are not soluble in water. Okay? So that's why when you eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, do not eat right away. Do not take in water right away. Because, of course, maglutaw. They are insoluble in water. Okay? Cellulose. So this is now the linear structure, polymer of glucose, beta 1,4-glycosidic bond. Glucose with beta 1,4-glycosidic bonds. So this is now the glycosidic bond. Said to be beta. Okay? So you have beta glucosidases for some bacteria, and that's why they can digest cellulose. Termites, ruminants, like horses, they can digest grasses and hay. Now we also have acidic polysaccharides. These are group of polysaccharides that contain carboxyl groups or sulfuric ester groups. So they have important roles in the structure and functions of your connective tissues. Like hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is specialized polysaccharide found in the connective tissues. Like, for example, sa atong synovial fluids. They are abundantly found there. So they are used as lubricants for our joints. Lubricants for our joints. But when we grow older class, that lubricants would be diminished. That's why there will be friction. So you have now pains in your joints all over your body because you have decreased your lubricants, your hyaluronic acid. Okay, another acidic polysaccharide is heparin. It's a heterogeneous mixture of sulfonated polysaccharides. They contain sulfur class. Ano siya? S, sulfur. Sulfonated. Okay? Now, heparin is for anticoagulant. They are used as anticoagulant. Say if you have some, say, clots in your blood vessels, then the heparin is helping you to remove those clots. Now, heparin will react with antithrombin 3. Now, this is for blood clotting. Now, if you have taken in heparin, it's an acidic polysaccharide, then it will bind strongly there, and that terminates the clotting activity of